A warning from liberal Bill Maher for the Democratic Party about pandering to voters. Watch this.
Outdated racial pandering is one reason Democrats lose elections. When Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi put on kente cloth, I don't think it earned them one vote for their powerful emotional ties to Ghana. Raven-Symoné agrees. She told Oprah, "I'm tired of being labeled. I'm not an African American. I'm an American." She says, "I don't know what country in Africa I'm from. My roots are in Louisiana." And you don't have to agree with that, but it's a point of view a lot of people have. Today's Democrats should move on from identity politics. It's not working. It's not working for them or for us. Democrats are hemorrhaging the very voters they think they're pandering to. The Financial Times writes, Democrats are going backwards faster with voters of color than any other demographic, and suggests the reason is that a less racially divided America is an America where people vote more based on their beliefs than their identity. Exactly. Look, we're all Jelly Roll now. We're sloppy, complicated, and contradictory. Look, you're still building your politics around slicing and dicing people into these fixed categories. Democrats need to get the memo that you can't win elections anymore by automatically assuming you're going to get every voter who's not these guys. The more you obsess over identity, the more you ignore the bread and butter issues that win and lose elections.
That is actually a very good point, ignoring the bread and butter issues, because that's what this White House does. It literally is ignoring all the negative, which is the majority of what has happened in the last 3.5 years, and focused on what? Trump. I mean, I don't know what else they focused on.
Yeah, look, Bill Maher was really good. I was highly impressed, because if you want less racism, maybe stop being racist. Stop putting everybody in a particular bucket based solely on the color of their skin. That is so at the opposite of what Dr. Martin Luther King talked about. They think that by having open borders, Hispanics will love that. And it's just such a ridiculous notion. And the whole affirmative action, all of those programs that they try to do, they've done this, they've preached it. I think America is tired of it. Stop categorizing people solely on the color of their skin and talk about ideals.
Right. And please do not assume that because you're Hispanic or a minority that you're going to vote Democratic, because that is just ignorant. And he is just literally begging Hispanics to vote for him. Take a look at Hispanic voters. If you look back to the 2020 election compared to today, Biden had 59%, Trump 38%. So obviously he had a majority there. Black voters, Biden had 92%, Trump 8%. But now it's a different picture. Hispanic voters are only 40% in for Biden and 46% for Trump. And I'll tell you why: illegal immigration. And black voters, Biden 66%. So he still takes the lead among black voters at Trump at 23%. But it really does shift the tide here when it comes to the minorities in this country, and there is a reason for that, and that's because a lot of them do come from poor minority communities, and they are suffering most under this administration.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what Bill Maher was saying, and I think Jason is right in that if you look at corporate America is backing away from DEI initiatives. Yeah. Survey after survey shows that DEI hiring is down by 48%, and look at the universities around the country who are which are shutting down DEI programs. So that's starting to become a trend. And, Raven-Symoné, who was in that clip, is hardly a liberal. She has a post on Instagram talking about wanting to leave the country if a Republican gets elected. But listen to what she was saying. She was saying, I don't want to be called an African American. I'm an American, right?
Right.
And I think, a lot of minorities feel that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Joe, this is a desperate card that the Biden administration is trying to pull, and they're trying to pull the race card. Quite frankly, I think it's insulting to all minorities.
Identity politics is so 2020, isn't it? Remember when Joe Biden was elected, the first day they said, we have the most diverse cabinet in the history of America. I prefer diversity of thought than diversity in terms of based on your skin color or your ethnicity. I love the fact that Bill Maher has now become the voice of reason.
It's actually
for the Democratic Party.
I never thought in a million years that Bill Maher would actually be a voice of reason with a Democrat in the White House.
And Julie, this isn't a one-off. This is every every week he is preaching to the Democratic Party, please, this is what you're doing wrong. I do find it funny, though, that the Biden-Obama relationship is still being portrayed that they're BFFs. Because at last
he didn't even endorse him when he ran for president.
Well,
I mean, until the very last second, I guess he just figured he had no choice but to get behind him. But in all seriousness, he kept his distance.
2016, Barack Obama wanted Hillary Clinton to be the next president, not his own vice president.
Says a lot.
Then I got to see on social media Joe Biden sharing pictures of friendship bracelets. I'll tell you this, in Jersey, if I gave a friendship bracelet to one of my friends, he'd break his jaw for my jaw for me. Like, we're not doing the bracelets, but
no, you
but
only
to Bill
do
Maher's
that at Taylor
point.
Swift concerts.
Exactly. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But again, Bill Maher, I love the fact that he will say things that he doesn't think his audience necessarily wants to hear, what they need to hear. And he even gets applause from that studio audience in Los Angeles.
And
so he's resonating.
He is a Democrat, and I don't think he has any plans on changing parties. I mean, he's a Democrat trying to speak to his party, saying, come on, folks.
But the Democratic Party has left its roots. They used to be ones that preached, free speech and, we're going to take it to the man.
Anti-war.
They were anti-war. They were united with Republicans on supporting our military. You don't feel or see any of that with today's progressive wing.
Right. Okay, I just want to say, as far as calls for desperation, you just have to listen to the president here and tell me how desperate this sounds when he's trying to appeal to Hispanic voters. Listen to the president.
You're the reason why, in large part, I beat Donald Trump. Let's beat him again. Well, I need you. I need you badly. I need the help. Kamala and I desperately need your help.
I need you badly, I need the help. It reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever had a situation where you were trying to break up with somebody and they just did not understand that you just weren't into them. There's actually a book that says he's just not that into you.
That's actually never happened to me. It's always the other way around.
Well, that's what that sounds like. He reminds me of an ex-boyfriend that just won't leave me alone.
Interesting.
I don't know. Nobody here? No? No hands? Okay. They're all liars. Okay. We've all been there. I know you have.
You're too funny.
Wait, the Fox News poll. Take a look at this Fox News poll. Biden's Hispanic approval on immigration and the economy, because this is where it really hurts him big time. 29% approve, 70% disapprove. Okay. And as far as the economy, 34% approve, 60% disapprove. Why do you think that is? I mean, there are so many legal Hispanics in this country that fought hard to get here legally. And here they are looking at everyone else just getting a free pass. Not only do you get to come in and skip the line, but you get free hotels. Now they're asking for free attorneys here in New York City. It doesn't end.
A couple of things are happening. One is inflation affects everybody. Many of these people want to live the American dream. And the social services and a lot of the base, a lot of the Democratic base, these big cities, New York City, Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, guess what? They don't have the resources to help the homeless veterans. They don't help them. They go out and they help somebody here who's illegal. And people are here illegally, they can get on a plane without an ID.
Yep.
You're an American citizen, you get treated a lot worse under the Biden administration, and everybody understands that.
Yep.
People are not categories, right? People are people. To the whole theme of this entire discussion, to your point, they feel food prices going too high, their rent's going too high, gas prices too high. They don't feel safe in their communities because police are being cut as a result of taking care of those who are here illegally. They don't like what's going on at the border because people are coming in and taking jobs away from them who are illegally here. You could go down the list, but the bottom line is if Joe Biden won by 21 points in 2020 and now he's trailing by 6, that's a 27-point swing. If that holds, lights out, electoral landslide for Donald Trump, especially when you consider the black vote. Also, Biden is down 40 points among blacks. That dog don't hunt. If the election were held today, then that's the end of Joe Biden.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.